here's a weird one for you. You want to talk some Nintendo? This is called Dragon Power. Now, my friend bought this copy. He bought it. Oh man, we were teenagers. Maybe 16. Maybe I was 16. A while ago. we went to the pawn shop, and they had it in their stacks. Our local pawn shop. We used to have this town square where there was 3 pawn shops in like a triangle, and then there was a comic book store, and then there was like a used toy collector's shop. All right, this was all within like one city block, so you could walk downtown. When I was a kid and we didn't have cars, you could walk down there and you could do like the pawn shop circuit. It's one of the things I'm the most nostalgic for of my teenage years, was the pawn shop circuit. And they would have these stacks of Nintendo games. Because this was... I'm trying to do the math to figure out how old I was, but it had to have been 1999. Maybe 2000. Maybe as late as 2000, but I'm thinking 98, 99. It wasn't cool to be collecting NES games in 1999. That didn't happen until later. I don't remember it being cool to collect Nintendo games until after James Rolfe started his series. So what they did was they would have the stacks of Nintendo games, and whatever was in that stack was whatever price it was. $5 for a loose Nintendo game, and whatever you found there is what you found. This is one of the reasons why nowadays, when you see a game, like a common game like Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers 3, guys my age, we have a hard time accepting that they're 20, 30, 40, whatever they are. It's tough, alright? Because it didn't used to be that way. You went, you did the circuit, you looked at the stacks, and you did it every week. This was one game that came from those stacks. And my buddy was sure this was going to be an expensive, like rare kind of game. The reason he thought that is because we were Dragon Ball fans. Now this is a Dragon Ball game where the license was removed. If you look down there on the bottom, that's the Dragon Balls, right? It's not, because they can't call it that, because it's Dragon Power, but that's Dragon Ball. So he was like, yeah, you're going to get that. Let's get that one. Not good as a game. Very, very, as much as this looks like Dragon Ball, even more so when you play it, because a lot of recognizable faces. Bulma, clearly in the game, in cutscenes. It's strange. Very strange. So this, to me, I'm glad I still have it. Not so much for the game, but that era, doing the pawn shop circuit. Oh my gosh. How I wish. The pawn shop used to have these stacks of cassette tapes that I never really paid much attention to, right? They were like local like Hispanic acts. They would produce their own cassette tapes, and they would cover them in these like pink paper, right, with these like home printed labels. So what you'd have is like a big rack of cassette tapes that almost all looked exactly the same, and that sat right next to the Nintendo games. And I don't ever think I looked at that rack even once and thought about buying one of those tapes. But for some reason now, I wish I had. Because whatever was on those tapes, and there was a lot of them, how much audio is stored on a cassette tape? See, most vinyl records, you're looking at like half hour to 45 minutes or so. So let's call it a half an hour per tape. You're looking at probably like 50 hours in that stack. That's all gone. No one's ever going to hear that music again. Whatever was on those tapes. That's like a weird thing for my head to go back there, but the old tapes of Latin music next to the Nintendo games, which I'll never forget. So that's Dragon Power. Does anybody have good memories of playing Dragon Power when they were a kid? I remember thinking how weird it was. But, oh well. I still got it. I still got it. It was not cool to buy Nintendo games when I bought this. I bought it anyway. See you guys.